Hello and welcome to day 2 of your 5-day Unleash Your Inner Psychic Challenge. I'm Carrie Donchos, and yesterday I promised you 2 things, and I'm going to deliver on both of those today. The first thing I talked about is how to start mapping out how you're perceiving energy. So, are you seeing energy? Are you feeling energy? Are you hearing energy? Are you just intuiting energy? We're going to touch base a little bit on what intuition is. The other promise I made was to start accessing your information from a place of neutrality rather than this is scary or this is right or this is too emotionally charged. I can't see this or feel this or get the information on this because it's just too much. How do we come from that place of neutrality, which is a place of stillness and a place of ease? There's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. It's just neutral. It's like, that's interesting. Good to know. Good to see. So we're going to start there because from this place of neutrality, it'll be much easier for you to start to learn and map out how you access your information and what your strengths are in terms of your psychic abilities, and then maybe what's a little bit more challenging for you. And so then how can we cultivate the things that are challenges so that you have more to bring with you as you're navigating through the road bumps of life, because there's always going to be road bumps, and they're really beautiful and magnificent when you're able to see anything that arises in your life and love it and heal through it really easily. So we're going to start with a meditation. Go ahead and close your eyes. And I'm going to ask you to uncross your arms and legs and have your feet flat on the ground. So once you're in that position, the reason we do that is that's just a very receptive position. It helps you to channel earth energy and be really stable and grounded while you're accessing your spiritual information and your spiritual abilities. And that's really important. And just kind of keep your eyes closed and start noticing your internal landscape as I'm talking. But that's really important because you don't want to just be, we all know people like this, you're spiritual and you have all these like great ideas, but nothing gets manifested in your physical experience. And likewise, you don't just want to be plowing through life and going into effort and you can get through anything that comes up because you just push your way through and you just get it, and there might be a lot of struggle and you might be tired, but you get what you want in the end. Neither of those is a good balance. So we're going to talk about balance. So I want you to just, as your eyes are closed, say hello to you. And notice what that's like. You can say your name if you want. It can be really impactful to use your full birth name, but just say hello to you. Every day we're saying hello to people around us, and we're looking around at the environment that surrounds us. But how often do we take a moment to look at our internal landscape? So that's what I want you to do now. And then I'm going to ask you to just call your energy back to you. However that's meaningful. You can just intend that your energy comes back to you. You can play. I'd like you to be in that energy of kindergarten and finger painting and making it up. You know, Einstein said imagination is a preview of life's coming attractions. So just practice flexing that imagination muscle. These abilities are like any muscle. So the more you strengthen them, the more they're going to serve you and the stronger you'll be. So call your energy back to you. You might notice that you feel it come in behind you. You might see it come in. You might notice some colors. You might just get a general sense of it. You might just hope it's coming in and invite it in. And all of that works. No matter how you do it, it works. And then I'm going to ask you to bring your focus and attention to the center of your head. So go ahead and do that now. And notice where you go with your attention when you do that. Where in your head are you resting? And then for just a moment, go ahead and open your eyes, and I'm actually going to tell you where the center of your head is. So if you go between your eyebrows and draw a straight line to the back of your head, and then if you go right at the top and just behind, actually right at the topmost part of your ear, it's kind of hard to see with my hair, but you put a line there, and then the intersection of those two lines is the center of your head. So a lot of times people actually are in front of it. So relax behind that. Go ahead and close your eyes. Relax behind the center of your head. We're kind of programmed, and it's validated to go into your thinking mind, which is more forward. We want to go behind that, this place of stillness and neutrality that comes from the center of your head. There won't be thought. There will be a stillness that comes up. And we're just playing with it today, so if you get it, great. If you don't, no big deal. And then I want you to imagine that there's a gold ball in the center of your head, and I want you to let that gold ball get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and just let it keep expanding. This is a way to just fill up with your energy and clear out any energies that aren't you, so that you can access your own information and your own answers. Your essence. I want that to be shining through, and I want that to be what you navigate life with and make decisions from. So let it get as big as your head. You can even let it get bigger than your head, like a astronaut helmet around your head. Notice what that's like. If it's working, great. If you have no idea if it's working, that's okay. Just practicing and playing along is enough. It works regardless. And then allow that to shrink down back to the size of your head, and maybe down to the size of a cantaloupe, maybe the size of a softball, and let it keep shrinking down. Now maybe to the size of a baseball. And then we're going to let that ball in the center of your head rest about the size of a ping pong ball or a walnut. And you might need some more oxygen, so there's no right or wrong way to breathe, but you'll want to check in that you are indeed breathing. Otherwise, you'll get spiritual really quick. So just stay in the center of your head and see if you can relax there. And just notice for a moment what that's like to be there. Good. So whether that was awesome and very enlightening for you, or you didn't notice much, or you're somewhere in between, that's all fine. Just go ahead and open your eyes. Come on out of the meditation. And I'm going to talk about what a few actually, not all of them, a few of your abilities. So I defined psychic yesterday as simply being sensitive to energy. And I use psychic as the overlying or the umbrella term for all of your 6 sensory abilities. And I'm going to name just a few. So the first is clairvoyance. Another term that can be very scary or seem like this really big deal. But clairvoyance is simply clear vision, or the ability to see things clearly. The ability to see your truth, to see what's clear for you. So it's a really important ability to have, and yet none of these abilities are better than the other. So when I talk about the other abilities, you're just going to notice where you have that, or where you can't relate with that at all, or maybe how you use different abilities together. So you are clairvoyant if when you closed your eyes and we looked at the word psychic or felt through the word psychic and you saw a picture, or you envisioned a color, or maybe when we went to the center of your head, it was really easy to envision a ball or envision the color gold, or maybe you just saw black. That's still seeing color. And so it can seem like really complicated, like, oh, mental image pictures, how do I see them? But it's very similar to when you read a book and you envision a story that's happening in your head. That's using your inner vision. And so with clairvoyance, you can use it receptively, which is what I just described with reading a book, but you can also use it creatively. So you're actively activating your clairvoyance to create what you would like to see in your life. How cool is that? Okay, so that's one ability. Another ability is clairsentience, and often this is one that we can all relate with really easily, but we don't chalk it up to being a psychic ability. Clairsentience is like the example I gave yesterday, where you walk into a room and you get a good feeling. So it's the ability to feel energy. So tapping into your emotions and the physical sensations of your body or your gut, I just felt it in my gut. Those are all ways in which we're uniting our spiritual sense with our physical, our body sense. So it's a really cool ability to have as well, and it's really important to trust it. It's really important to not teach it out of our children, that when they feel like, I don't want to give that person a hug right now, or I don't like that person, that's just them starting to get used to their internal senses. It doesn't mean that person's a bad person, but they are being true to themselves that they don't want to give a hug right now. And so just like we want to preserve that in kids, we want to start to preserve that and bring that out for ourselves. So you walk into a room and like, oh, I can cut the tension with a knife. So that's clairsentience. When you went inside, did you feel a lot of emotions when I was walking you through the meditation? When I used the word psychic yesterday, did you just get oh, I don't like that, or did you get an excited feeling? That's clairsentience. And then clairaudience is simply that ability to hear energy. And this can be hearing your mom talk to you in your head when your mom's not right there. It can be, oh, I shouldn't go there. Or it can be yeah, I'm hearing a yes on that. And how to discern between what's your information and what's other information, that's a whole nother chapter in this. But you want to just start to notice, where do you start to hear energy? Sometimes it's even like a tone, like a musical vibration. And you might just, like when you're feeling very serene, there's a certain tone that comes into your clairaudience, the ability to hear. And then knowingness, or what is commonly referred to as intuition, is the ability to know and to just not really have any rationalization, but just know what's true for you. Often intuition, or what I call knowingness, comes to you with a mixture of these other abilities that I already talked about. So a woman's intuition is a great example. You start walking up the steps before your baby starts crying, and by the time you get to the top, your baby's ready to be awoken from their nap. And we're going to talk about how to tap into that more. So I want you to just start to notice as you go through your day today, notice how you receive internal information. Are you constantly talking to yourself? Is there an internal dialogue going on all the time? Clairaudience. Do you see things through mental image pictures? So when someone says, hey, do you want to go to the beach? Do you immediately have a vision of you and her at the beach? Or do you, just sense thing like trusting your gut and clairsentience and like just feeling the energy of the yoga studio or feeling the energy of someone who's talking to you? So notice what that is and go ahead. That's your homework, is to write down what that main ability is for you. Thanks, and be well and have fun.